The data we have indicates that 16.1% is the rate of unemployment for youth aged between 18 and 30, and that has impacted females more than males, especially in Uganda. All those are questions that we should be looking into, and whether the young persons themselves can actually come forth with solutions. But the very first thing to do is to present yourself for leadership by contesting on all these positions that are available as the nation gears up for the general election. On my extreme left is Mike Kidega. Mike Kidega is an aspiring presidential candidate. He spoke very ably before we came on air of the fact that he's going to be the very first challenger to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, but we know President Museveni has faced very many people, especially from 1996 and to the very last election. What does he mean when he says he's the challenger? You're welcome to Morning at NTV, Mike Kidega.
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting me.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Mike Kidega. I'm from northern Uganda, and I'm naturally.
Okay. You will be, we shall be having an intro, a preamble, no doubt. Let me just get in light with our preamble. I would be remiss if I do not begin with Mr. Mike Kidega. The position you are vying for, President of the Republic of Uganda. Yes. You've expressed interest in going for this one.
Yes, sir.
You have told me before we came on air that you're going to be the very first challenger.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, thank you so much. To be honest to our viewers, that since Museveni came into power in 1986, President Museveni has never got a real challenger. Whoever comes in, they are just interested in how he should go, something like that. But in actual sense, they can't present the fundamental policies and things they want to do for the people of this country. So I believe that my agenda and what I'm going to do is really going to be on the ground to make sure that the people of this country understand exactly what their country is supposed to do for them. It's not about saying so and so must go. Okay, yes, let him go. So what alternative do you have to give to the people that is better than the one who is in power? Yes, so and that is what exactly I want to present to the people of Uganda.
Let me stay with you on that and ask you the open-ended question.
Okay.
What are you offering the people of Uganda?
The first of all, I want to offer the people of Uganda leadership. We all know that Uganda is small of young people. Okay, so I'm bringing a very fresh, young, and energetic energy, and someone who is also sound mind, that is going to make sure that every policy that comes on my desk, I first understand it, and it has to be clearly written, because I don't want just to put my signature in something that at the end of the day is going to put my country into another problems for another good years. So I will make sure that everything that comes before my table is well worked on. Yeah, and that will go with a lot of good policies that has to be put in place.
Okay. We'll be diving very shortly into the policy framework and the available options that you have as a leader, providing an alternative from what Uganda has had for the last 40 years. Very much. Let's return to the presidential aspirant and now dig deep into the policy rollout that you might embark on. That is if the gods of politics aspire on you in 2026. What do you see as the long-standing challenges that the youth have suffered in this country, and what are the available options, alternatives, or measures that can be undertaken as quickly as possible to rectify some of those challenges?
Okay, thank you so much once again. To be honest to you, the youth in this country really needs jobs, which we are seeing that many might be saying outside there, the government has provided jobs. But how sure are we that those jobs are there, that the government has provided? Okay. Of course, we are looking at the presidential initiative that has been put out, like the wealth creation program and so on. It is good you're skilling them. But when they come out of that, what are you doing for them? Okay, remember, they are not the only one whom they are being skilled of, right? Even the universities and other institutions, they are also producing. So at the end of the day, you find 1,000 of people are out there. That's why most of our people, they're becoming charcoal sellers, they're selling Rolex, and because they have nothing to do. So to me, I believe as given opportunity, the time right now is for us to focus on how can we provide jobs to the people instead of us busy consuming money for ourselves. That's number one. Instead of spending money in places which doesn't make sense. For example, look at how our leaders are enriching themselves, okay, instead of investing money. For example, let me give an example. Look at our retirement things, like our package. Recently, when you read through those retirement benefits that have been put out, you find that someone like the former vice president, okay, he has been a deputy speaker, he has been a speaker, he has been a vice president, but look at the amount of money being given to him. So what if we channel that money? We say, okay, fine, you know what? You have gone through this process, we accept it, okay? But now, since you have reached to a point of being a vice president, can you have only the benefit of being what? The vice president. Some of those money can be channeled back to create a lot of jobs opportunity. Or not, you see that? Then the other thing is, how can we get investors to come into a country and invest and create opportunity for the youth? But now we find that for us, some of these politicians, when they go out, instead of marketing the country to allow the investors comes in, they are busy going out there speaking bad about the country. You see that? Because the investor, they want to feel welcome. They want to feel that freedom. But if we ourselves are not the champion of marketing our own country, then how shall we get investors to come and invest and provide jobs for us? Secondly, one thing I believe as a political aspirant is that we need to invest on our domestic business men and women, especially those who are doing the small sector businesses.
Okay.
Yes. So that's one way. For example, in Uganda, we have people who a lot of brilliant ideas, okay, to start a business. But how many of them are the government investing in them? One thing I believe, a country can have a sustainable economy if only we have our domestic investors are being invested in. And trust me, by doing that, we'll be solving the problem of unemployment. Because when these people expand their businesses, of course they will recruit this Uganda into their businesses alongside the foreign investor that they comes in. Because when you look at everything on the round table, our government is more focused on the foreign investors. They're forgetting about our domestic investors, the people who have the young brilliant ideas who can invest in this country and make this country a better place.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Allow me ask another question and stay with you very shortly. When you look at our civil service structure, what do you think needs to change?
First of all, we need to draft a new policy on the civil service structure, because we are looking at the recruitment that's taking place. One thing I believe, if the government cannot find a way of employing Ugandans, then let's introduce an hourly pay. Yes.
Hourly.
Yeah, because the number of youth who are outside there that are unemployed, there are too many. To a point where now they're going to sell charcoals, they're becoming Rolex sellers, they're working in the street, then let's introduce hourly pay. So that at least we reduce the gap of unemployment. Because we can't keep saying that out of 72 trillions that the government has just passed in the current budget, 34% of it is going to be from borrowing, right? And the 37% is what we are going to look for. So the question is, are you not taking back the burden to the people who are supposed to work so hard to pay that money? But if you don't give them jobs, if you don't open for them opportunity to have something to do, so where is the government going to raise money? Are we only going to keep depending on borrowing all the time? Yes.
Okay. But
yes. Now, I like the way she has put it out, that the youth are already there. But the question is to be said, when you look at the number of old people who are in the government system, okay, so for how long should we keep waiting? No, I just want to ask myself a question. For how long should we keep waiting? When themselves, they don't want to leave the chair. They are still there. So what do you expect us, the youth, to do? So, yes.
I also have a concern. She's so much emphasizing on the informal sector. And when as a developing country or as a taking off country, we don't desire a developing sector. An informal sector, because most of the futures of an informal sector, most of these people do not pay taxes. They will end up in the border economy. Is even the government is discussing on how to end the border economy. So there's some people who always say that jobs are everywhere, but young people do not want to work. We should be discussing on how to legitimize or to make the working environment favorable for everyone to work.
I would be remiss if I do not again ask Mike Kidega. There's a question that is often asked of presidential candidates, and this is one that seeks to have them review and talk to the nation about their understanding of the republic. Uganda is pretty much embedded in East Africa cooperation dynamics. We are strong on that push for a community that works for us all, trade, labor. What is your take on these matters of East Africa cooperation?
Thank you so much.
Very quickly.
So, first of all, I would like to thank President Museveni for championing, being on the lead all the time about the East African community.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that it's the only thing we're supposed to do. You see, when we are dealing with the East African community, we need to first of all, number one, put our interest number one. Because sometimes we forget about that we need our own people to understand why is it important for us to trade with Kenya? Why is it important for us to trade with Rwanda? Why is it important for us to trade with Tanzania? But sometimes we forget, and you find that we allow another country to sit on us, to give us what to do. But then, to me, I believe, as a concerned citizen of this great nation, Uganda, I believe that it is a high time for us to look at how can we help our own people to see that they can reach and even explore other opportunity from other countries in terms of business and trade.
I think that is well understood. Many thanks, Mike Kidega, politician and aspiring for the President of the Republic of Uganda in the 2026 presidential election. And